Let's dive right into a choice that's way bigger than just, where your desk is. We're talking about a fundamental question about our careers, our identities, and really the kind of lives we want to lead. It is the ultimate showdown, the big name, fancy office versus the total freedom of working from home. So which one is actually the right move?
Okay, so let's put you at a crossroads. Imagine you get two job offers and they hit your inbox at the exact same time. On the surface, they look almost identical, but trust me, they represent two completely different futures. Let's get real for a second. Which one would you choose?
All right, here's the setup. Offer number one. It's from a huge, prestigious company everyone's heard of. We're talking a gorgeous, impressive office space 5 days a week. Offer number two. It's from a solid, mid-sized company, but, and this is a big but, it's fully remote. You can literally work in your pajamas, zero commute. And here's the kicker, the salary and the job title, exactly the same. So what's the trade-off here? Is it the visible prestige or that complete, total autonomy?
To really break this down, we need to look at it strategically. This isn't just about what feels good today. This is a calculated move for your career.
A really smart way to think about this is what you might call the two-act career. In Act 1, let's say your first 5 years or so, that office is your stage. Your main goal, visibility. You're building your personal brand, you're networking like crazy, and you're learning just by being around senior people. That company's prestige, it's like currency for your resume. But then comes Act 2. Your priorities might totally shift. The goal becomes quality of life, deep, uninterrupted work. And suddenly, that remote offer starts to look really good.
But of course, this isn't just about some long-term game plan, right? This choice affects you every single day. So let's get into the psychology of it all. How does your environment actually shape who you are at work?
Well, we're really looking at two totally different sources of energy. In the office, you've got something called social facilitation. Basically, just the buzz of seeing other people around you tapping away at their keyboards can actually motivate you. The downside? Well, constant distractions and that low-key feeling that you're always being watched. Now, at home, your energy comes from deep work, that pure, uninterrupted focus that leads to incredible productivity. But the dark side there? It can be social isolation and that very real danger of work and life just blending into one big, stressful blob.
And this gets at two powerful and kind of competing psychological needs. That fancy office job, it feeds our need for esteem, that feeling of importance you get from being part of a big, recognizable brand. But the remote job, that satisfies our deep need for autonomy. And let me tell you, the motivation that comes from feeling like you're in complete control of your own time and your own space is incredibly powerful.
And look, we can't possibly talk about the office without talking about its silent partner in crime. The one factor we almost always forget to properly weigh in the equation. Yep, I'm talking about the commute. Just 1 hour. That's it. Studies have shown that driving in traffic for just 60 minutes a day significantly increases your risk of anxiety and depression. That is a massive hidden cost to that office job. All that energy that could be spent on your work or, just living your life is instead just getting burned away on the freeway. Okay, so far this seems like a pretty straightforward pros and cons list. But what if the entire debate, office versus home, is actually a distraction? What if we've been asking the completely wrong question this whole time? This right here is the absolute key. The problem isn't the office, and it's not your home either. The location, it's just the stage. The real drama, the real conflict, is something that we carry inside of us, no matter where we go. Changing the scenery doesn't mean you've rewritten the script.
And here it is. This is the real issue at the very heart of it all. For so many of us, our sense of self-worth has gotten dangerously tangled up with our professional output. We've been taught to believe that we are what we produce, and that our value as a human being is somehow measured by how efficient and accomplished we are at work. And this table just perfectly illustrates how that core belief doesn't go away when you change your zip code. It just changes its costume. In the office, it looks like performative work, making sure you look busy, constantly comparing yourself to the person next to you. But at home, that very same belief turns inward. It becomes a silent, nagging self-criticism. It's that guilt you feel for taking a proper lunch break, or that feeling that you just can't truly log off at night. The problem is identical, only the way it shows up is different. So, if the location isn't the problem, we need to completely reframe the question we're asking ourselves.
Let's be really clear about this. Neither that fancy office nor your quiet home studio is the source of all our work-related anxiety. They're just different arenas where our internal relationship with work gets to play out. The crisis of burnout, of feeling like you're not enough, it follows you. The location just changes what it looks and feels like.
So this is it. This is the real question. It's not about where you work. It's about who you are when the laptop is closed. Can you actually define yourself outside of your job title and your to-do list? Because learning how to cultivate that part of yourself, that is the true first step toward a healthy relationship with work, no matter where it happens.
And once you start asking that deeper question, something amazing happens. You get the power to stop being just an actor in your own career, and you start becoming the director of your own life scene.
You see, the ultimate goal isn't finding the perfect office or designing the perfect home setup. The ideal environment, it's internal. It's a state of mind. One where you can finally separate your value from your output, where your ambition doesn't become all-consuming, and where work is an important part of your life, but not its entire meaning.
So how do you actually become the director? Okay, first, just acknowledge your current relationship with work. Be honest. Is it healthy? Second, actively work on separating your worth from your daily output. You need to remember that you are valuable even on an unproductive day. And only then, third, can you consciously choose the location, office, or home that truly serves your character and the current act of your life story.
So we end with this. The whole office versus home debate, it's going to go on forever. But maybe, just maybe, the most productive question we can ask ourselves isn't where we should work, but instead, how do we engage with our work deeply and passionately without completely losing ourselves in the process? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.